It's Ketchup Packets.
Hey everybody, I'm Nate.
I'm Lewis.
I'm Sean.
And this is Ketchup Packets. Today we are going to be watching Severance Season 2, Episode 7 called Bardo.
Chikhai.
Bardo.
I don't know how to say that.
Should have maybe read that before I just...
No, it's way better when you've never seen it until you're saying it. It's, teleprompter style.
Yeah.
Yeah, so what happened last time on Severance, guys? Mark is foaming at the mouth and passed out.
That's right. He
just
sure
had
is.
brain surgery and a brain injury.
Yes.
Yeah.
They flooded the chip, and then Devin came over when he wasn't supposed to move his head, and he went to answer the door anyway, and he passed out. So now Devin and Regabi and Mark dealing with all that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mark and Helly had sex under a plastic sheet.
That's right.
Right?
Yeah.
So they finally actually, like them two actually.
Mark and actually Helly, yes.
Yep.
And then Helena came to visit Mark in the Chinese restaurant.
That's right.
Yeah.
And so somebody pointed out in, I believe, our Patreon comments that the Chinese restaurant he was eating in was called Zufu, which is Chinese for grandfather. And as Mark was leaving, only the second part of the sign was illuminated, so only the fu, which means father, I guess.
Okay.
So I apologize if I'm misunderstanding what was told to me about the Chinese there, but people are saying that is another indication that Helena, is going to become pregnant, that Mark is going to father a child.
Yeah.
There's been two opportunities for that to have happened already now, so.
For sure.
Yeah.
We've got that. Irving went to dinner at Bert and Field's house.
Very awkward.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that was kind of a setup, right? Because Milchick was going through Irving's stuff.
Drummond was going through
Drummond,
his
that's
stuff.
right. Yeah.
So, that is true. It could easily have been a diversion to get him out so they could look through his stuff, but I heard someone else commenting on the detail of why wasn't Radar barking at Drummond's presence in the house. The dog didn't care that he went in there. And so someone was saying, was Drummond there getting something he was supposed to see? Is that possibly who Irving is calling on the paper?
Oh, yeah.
Maybe I don't know. I don't see any other reason to think that, but, we can't rule out any, just because something appears to be one way doesn't mean...
Yeah. It feels like, the writers of this show, I could see, maybe on a different show, people being like, doesn't he have a dog? And the writers being like, oh shit, we forgot about it.
Yeah.
Like Game of Thrones, where they forgot about Ghost for the last season or so. They're like, oh, there's a wolf. We should put the wolf, CGI the wolf in.
Yeah, right. But I feel like, they're so meticulous that it would be a weird thing to just, skip over.
And they haven't shown the dog very much, but he does seem sort of, old and kind of frumpy, so maybe he's just, not a good guard dog.
Right,
You get in the house, you pet him once, and it's like, okay, I'm going back to sleep.
Yeah. You're cool, I guess.
Yeah. So, I don't know, but, that was, it was a little bit of a slower one, I guess, last week. I'm excited to see what we get into. Should we do more pre-talk, or should we just dive in?
Do we have anything else to say? Let's do it.
All right, let's do it.
All right, check out our Patreon. We got a link below if you want to check that out. We've got full-length reactions over there. We got movie polls. So you can support us over there if you want, or not. Let's watch Severance.
Woo! Gemma, flashback, campus.
Yeah. More people than we
Yes.
see.
Is this going to be a meet cute? It's going to be the first time they met?
Oh my gosh, he looks so different.
Yeah, wow.
Have we had any flashbacks like this before?
No.
What do you got there?
Themes of religious conversion in Tolstoy's The Death of Ivan Ilyich.
Oh my god, spoiler.
We've never seen Gemma before. We've only seen Miss Casey. We've never seen her be a normal person.
I'm sorry, who are you?
That question in this show.
Yeah.
Mark.
They're donating blood. They're giving parts of themselves to an organization.
Right.
Okay.
All
And now we are...
Extracting blood at Lumen. Sandra Bernhardt?
He'll be okay.
He'll be okay.
I'm sure you should say that because
Right.
you did this.
Do we need an ambulance?
No,
Can you answer one of my questions, please?
He's gonna sleep for
She's trying to think.
Your brother's reintegrating.
No, he's not. I can tell that you're smarter than me, so forgive me if I say this like super plainly, but if you give one solitary thought to messing with my brother again, I will throw you off a fucking bridge.
For real, though.
Whoa.
We don't do that again.
We'll discuss it later.
Nope. No. It's settled fucking law, lady, okay? Just accept it.
I mean, after what she just witnessed.
Right,
Yeah.
no, yeah, totally.
What do you want us to know whether Gemma's alive
She
or
is.
not? Please don't mess with me.
She is alive.
So, yeah.
Fucking A, yeah.
Devin would be like, let's roll in there with federal agents. you
Yeah,
know?
that's what I'm saying. It's like, all they need is this one piece of information to just be like, you should probably, like,
Go look.
bomb this place, right? Well, that's not helpful, but you know what I mean. Like,
Yeah.
we need
Yes.
to... This is
Yeah.
a problem now.
You've eaten today, honey?
Yes.
Done your reading?
50 pages.
If you were caught in a mudslide, would you be more afraid of suffocating or drowning?
Wait.
What's the difference
Right,
in a mudslide?
in a mudslide.
Drowning.
Good answer. These scenes where they're like having a conversation about stuff that we don't know what they're talking about yet are always just so like surreal. It's like,
Yeah.
when are we going to find out what the hell they're talking about? Are we going to?
Allentown, that's that first file that Marker find. That's why he got his crystal head cube. The one that he
Yeah.
completed
Oh,
in a
okay.
day. Karen, so these are all files.
Yeah.
These are what they're refining. Okay. So now Miss Casey, right?
I think they got a lot of people in her.
Oh.
That wouldn't be... Yeah, that's interesting.
The dentist. The dental tools.
There she is. It's been 6 weeks.
I was just here.
Oh, man.
Please have a seat.
This is her severed personality when she's at the in the dentist room. So this one only exists in the dentist room.
Yeah.
She was just here, but it's been 6 weeks.
Right, yeah, okay, so they're just seeing how many different, like, tasks they can sever her into, or is that what's going on here?
Yeah, I don't know.
Excellent.
So the dental tool man is not Fields, and it's not Petey. No, some other dentist.
Open wide, please.
Oh man, that's like quite a nightmare to just be like only ever at the dentist.
Yeah, oh. And now you have the after pain and feelings, but you...
How long was I in there?
2 hours.
Ugh.
So she worries about the 6 rooms, not because she actually has to endure being in them, but just because the effects
Yeah,
compound on her.
Exactly, yeah.
Does she know? Yeah. Does she even know what's in those?
Cold Harbor.
No, she has no
What's
idea.
going on in here? No, come on. Oh, I don't want any of this stuff. Stay with Gemma this
Yeah.
episode, please.
Please come back.
Yeah, man, if I was Devin, I'd just... The moment he wakes up, he's like, we're getting in my car. We're
Go to the
leaving."
hospital.
Yeah.
In another town.
Yeah, we're just leaving this whole state. Wherever we are right now, we're out of here.
It's a nice touch. Coming off the elevator.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that.
I brought you something.
Oh.
It's an ant farm?
It's an ant farm.
Okay, a bunch of intelligent creatures that you keep in a
Something
little,
like ants.
you know, container and watch.
I like plants.
Plants.
But I love farms.
Oh, good.
Oh, it's so cute!
Really?
Oh, you know, it's on sale.
Who's putting it together, Mr. Handyman? You?
I happen to be quite handy.
No, you're not.
What? How dare you?
Pansy.
I think we're gonna watch their relationship slowly start to fall apart too.
You think
He's
so?
so happy at first, yeah.
Or maybe they'll be at the peak of this kind of a happiness and she's ripped away, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
For you, that's because you can scale walls like a gecko. It was like half a mile of just exposed rock face.
What is wrong with you?
Yeah, Rickon, what is wrong with you?
Yeah, Rickon can do that?
The two of us, it will be a grand adventure.
I feel like we spend a lot of time together.
Oh?
Are you not drinking?
Why would I do that?
Experience the beauty and wonder of nature.
Why is it you want to...
Oh.
Is this gonna be when she's
pregnant.
Yeah, she's ripped away when she's pregnant, maybe?
Oh. God.
Oh, no.
No.
Oh,
no.
jeez, that's so hard. Oh, God.
Oh no.
Oh, my God. Where's Mark? Oh, it just happened.
Oh fuck. It's going backwards.
Yeah,
Water's going backwards.
you're right.
Miss Casey.
I'm here to observe Heliar and to watch her for signs
Yeah,
of sad.
Mark is getting this memory. This is Audi Mark. What are we looking at now?
Whoa.
What?
Whoa.
What? I don't understand.
Yeah, I don't either.
Somebody's refining them.
Yep.
There's
Yeah,
like
they're
the
just
alternate
started.
versions of everybody. What?
Barriers holding.
That's wild. What the hell?
Technology is working.
Huh?
You like her. She's easy to like. Didn't she try and break your fingers?
What the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
There was like an alternate version of each of our refiners, and then the technology is working. I like her.
I like her. She's
Didn't
fond
she
of
try to break your fingers?
And they're pushing like one of 4 buttons.
Is that the dentist guy? No.
Right, their keyboards were very rudimentary. They didn't have... Yep.
Yeah.
That was the inciting incident to like their relationship beginning to spiral a little bit. Now she's in a different outfit.
Yeah. Still more dentist stuff?
Well,
no, this is different.
Doctor stuff.
My mouth hurts. Which room caused your mouth to hurt?
But remember the mouth wall in the perpetuity wing? All like the wall
That's
of
right.
smiles?
Yeah.
Did you exit any of the rooms feeling despair? Forever.
I don't like this guy one single bit.
Yeah, he's got a creepy gaze.
You will see the world again. And the world will see you.
So she's like a product they're gonna unveil?
See, Mark?
So this is Gemma.
That's Gemma, yeah.
Will benefit from the world you're siring. Kier will take away all his pain, just as Kier has taken away yours.
What?
Can you please just talk like
Right, for real, man.
There's an any cabin. I mean, technically it's a cottage where severed people become their ennies.
Mona birthing retreat.
Oh, so she knows all about it.
This is how you get Gemma out.
This looks like how you kill my brother.
You two are definitely related.
Yeah.
What you're doing?
Rikabi,
Yeah,
you
exactly. No, she needs to work on her social skills.
Yeah.
I mean, she's a recovering sociopath.
Harmony Cobell. She might know how to get in the cabin. I mean, fuck, she might know how to get to Gemma.
She was raised by them. She's a soldier.
It's a risk, I get that.
A risk?
Yeah?
She will turn you
Yeah,
over to
it's
them.
she's the enemy.
I have custody of his brain now. You don't. I'm calling her.
Don't kill. No, that is a really bad
that's really
idea.
not the right plan.
If you make that choice.
What are you... No, seriously, what are you doing?
Good luck.
You can't leave him like this. No. I can't...
Then you can't call Cobell.
This isn't my choice. It's yours.
No.
Then
I
don't
need you to
call her.
stay. Oh my god.
What?
Well,
She didn't call her yet. Just
Yeah.
agree not to call her, and Ragabi should stay.
Mark? What are you trying to say?
Chikhai, Bardo. I don't know. It looks like two guys fighting.
No, it's the same guy
What?
fighting himself, defeating his own psyche.
That's the O&D was making those cards. That's what.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where you have to draw a duck or a rabbit or whatever.
What?
I got onto the mailing list.
is it a duck or a rabbit?
So the
Why are you
fertility
wasting your time with
clinic. That's how she said she got on the mailing list. So that's a Lumen, like
Oh yeah.
Lumen somehow got to them there.
Don't do that.
Do what?
Tell me how I'm feeling.
I have no idea how you're feeling.
Beat to shit.
So let's stop.
Okay.
Yeah, it's introducing tension in their relationship.
And as a process, it's a very tense process, and it's tense for both people in the relationship
yeah.
in very different ways.
Yeah. So it's indies who don't get to leave, and it's not as though they're like told that they're leaving the building and actually just going somewhere else. Why does she have to dress like different? Oh, she's on an airplane.
No, she's on an airplane.
How?
To complete the...
This is perfectly normal. Let's get you set up with that meal. Bon appetit.
That's the same guy, right? Yeah.
This is a room.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
So they can give her experiences without it really being happening. Like she
that
can't
might
be
just
on
be
an
a
airplane, right?
flight simulator.
It could
Right.
be, I guess. Yeah.
Dear Mr. Tisdale, I cannot thank you enough.
What?
And
Forcing her to write thank you notes.
So it could be like an innie who only writes thank you notes.
Yeah.
many.
Yeah, she can like barely write.
Sweetheart, it's the last one.
Oh man, she's written like a bunch of them in here, like
Yeah.
all at once.
Well, and they're testing, like, because they said, did you come out of any of the rooms feeling despair? So feeling like, which grueling tasks can you do severed and not have any residual effects afterwards, you know?
Yeah.
How much longer do I have to do this?
You're done. But Christmas has a funny way of coming back around each year.
So all she does is write thank you notes.
It's always Christmas.
And also, this is a test of like when you leave and come back. Does her hand hurt like perpetually? You know, this version of her only is ever in this room writing.
Right, but I feel like that's a physical sensation. The hand would stop hurting when she leaves.
Yep. I'm starting to fall apart here.
My hand hurts.
What room caused your hand to hurt?
Allentown.
So that's... Allentown is the one Mark finished first. The Christmas one. What?
Huh.
I want to go home.
Your husband remarried last year.
Fucking
And he has a daughter now.
Oh, fuck you.
Yeah, dude. Ooh.
Nazi scientist.
How does this guy die horribly?
Just don't believe you.
Do you feel yourself gravitating towards one room or another?
Feel
Maybe you
myself
felt
gravitating
things behind
towards
those doors
strangling
never
you to
felt
death.
with Mark.
How did she wind up in this place? There's been reference to the severed floor
Death of Ivan Ilyich.
that we are familiar with being like hell. I'd say this experience
Yeah.
is much closer to hell.
There we go. Hell
yeah.
Thank you.
Hell yeah.
Nate's approach has finally entered the show.
Exactly. About friggin' time.
Violence.
Oh.
They see this, right? Like, they see everything.
Fuck them.
Gemma!
Oh, that would be so scary hearing your name. Oh,
Yeah.
God.
Gemma, stop! Gemma!
What are you talking about?
How would you be able to just get out? I guess she's got that key card, yeah.
What
The
could
chip.
you possibly
Okay,
say
so
to
now
her?
who?
But
Miss Casey now? What? Where is she?
Sure you don't want to come?
Shreds.
That's gonna be like 20 minutes of it.
Yeah, but you know.
Or I could stay.
No, you should probably go.
This is gonna be when she dies.
Anyway, so.
Oh no.
He's declining to go with and encouraging her to go.
Alright, well, I'll be back at like 10.
So things are finally, they weren't successful trying to conceive, right?
No,
And it was
yeah.
finally just like, okay, let's just stop this. And then things are finally starting to like turn around a little bit.
Yep. Yeah, so she's back on the severed floor now.
Miss Casey.
Okay, so they just sent him to head her
Milkshake,
off. So she
yeah.
thinks she's supposed to be here, not that she escaped.
Yeah.
What's happening?
Your Audi came in for a public art exhibition and found herself in the wrong elevator.
Uh-huh.
Oh.
Yeah, she's like, okay.
How long have I been?
If you wouldn't mind turning around and heading back in, it would be greatly appreciated.
God.
She really just gonna go back in? Come on, that's as far as she gets to.
I mean, that's the thing.
She's
It's
got
like
the key card. Yeah, if this is as far as it goes.
Where is...
Thank you, Miss Casey.
they don't have to go in with guns.
Yeah.
Miss Casey's walking around down there, and then the moment she goes up an elevator, she's has no idea what she's even doing anymore.
You mean Gemma's down there? Yeah.
That's what I
And
meant.
then
Yeah.
The only place she can go is to become Miss Casey and go back in. Yeah. So they're proved to us definitively here that they can partition you into a bunch of different consciousnesses, not just two.
Yeah.
So this is just law enforcement arriving to tell him. Yeah, they could have done whatever to take her in the meantime, and then they spin a story.
Yeah.
I guess. I mean, we'll see. But Gemma's in violent mode still, though, right? So fight.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, that would be the realization that you're completely trapped.
The elevator doesn't go anywhere. So how does he identify her then?
That's the last piece, because I don't know why I had always had the assumption that they were in the car together.
No,
You know?
no, yeah, I never
so-
thought that. But...
And then it's the identifying her and her cremation stuff that I'm like, how is that possible then? So the other stuff is a little bit legally, like, ambiguous, you know, they're going in of their own free will, all that stuff. This is imprisonment, right?
Yeah,
This is,
nobody
this
can
is
tell.
illegal, yeah.
Oh, right.
Mark in the present.
Yep.
What do we remember when we wake up? My goodness, it's Audi Mark in the daylight.
Yeah.
Where'd you go?
Let me tell you something.
Exactly.
Is it
What
a
has he seen?
Experimental student film for a while? Yeah.
Oh, God.
What?
No!
What?
No!
That
I mean,
place to stop.
This episode gave me enough to, like, chew on. It doesn't need to go any further.
That could have been a season finale. There's 3 more, you know?
No, that could not have been a season.
I know what
so
you're
pissed
you're
off.
right. But I mean, in terms of the amount of, like, sort of reveal that there was there.
Yeah, that's...
I think that would have been sloppy.
No, you're right.
Yeah,
I'm not trying.
yeah,
Okay,
right.
I'm just saying it was a good episode. It was juicy. Lots of
You
juice.
said there's 3 more?
Yes, there's 10
Okay.
this season, and that was
10.
7.
That was 7.
Jesus Christ, all right.
Yeah.
We're on episode 7 already. That was...
I
So
think
much
they,
to think about.
They gave us
Yeah.
just enough, like, questions and, like, almost answers to questions that the next 3 episodes will be enough time to, like, answer those questions and like action time.
Yeah, they've given us things here that we now need to like expand on. You know, like the pieces they handed us here demand to be expanded on sooner rather than later. They can't just leave them sitting there. Like the alternate versions of all the refiners in like a lower version of the MDR room doing something else connected to each of their... So that's been like a theme all throughout the season, is this evil twin thing. They have like when Mark tells the team that he was back first and there was a new team there.
Yeah.
And Dylan was like, who was who? And he's like, well, it wasn't like each of you represented individually. It was just different people. So like Dylan asks about that concept. And then we have the whole story with Dieter being Kier's twin and the doubles on that Ortbo that were like pointing them in their right direction. Were those same people that were down in this room, or was that like a different thing? I don't, because I mean, there's, you know.
Cool.
So, but we have all these things with doubles this season, you know, with the like actual physical doubles instead of just being like severed into two minds while you're one individual.
Yeah.
Then Gemma's got a whole bunch of different severed, but
so
just
they showed us that like every MDR file that our MDR team is working on is a room she goes in and like a scenario she enacts endlessly.
Right.
Yeah.
And then like it's their whole thing is like, how do the numbers make you feel? And then you put them in like a box that is, you know, it's all super. And then so like, what do those two things?
So each of those files has all of the tempers, like all of the feelings contained in them. So it's not as though each file is one kind of one.
No.
And then there are other MDR apartments around the country and the world and whatever, because like Bob Balaban and Alia Shawkat came from Branch 5X's MDR, and he talked about how their branch never finished a file, not once. So what is finishing a file versus not? And Dylan has said they finish like 1 in 5, or so like, you know, something like that. They don't finish them very often.
And the like the what part are the twins playing? Because it, like the screen implied that they were almost like feeding
like
information to the MDR team.
And then it was like the technology is working, Drummond said, you know, it was
the severance is holding or whatever. And like there's so much, like this is also a thing, like this is an episode I'm going to be chewing on all week, because there's so much just like, is this, nothing in the show seems like just an aesthetic choice. Like everything is loaded with symbolism, with meaning, with like an intent. And so like the alternate MDR team is all sitting facing outwards.
Right. And they're all facing
as opposed to facing in a circle like that. They're so it's the separate, I mean, and even Ragabi was like referring to the place that Cobell was the manager of as the severed floor. But then there's the testing floor below that, so she didn't say like the severed floors or anything. Like there's clearly just the one floor in the middle that's like automatically innies, and then otherwise it's the rooms that are severed. And
Gemma is her Audi, right? So like that floor isn't severed, but it's got severed rooms, right?
Exactly.
But then there's the whole floor that's the severed floor.
And then,
but like any floor below that, you can't get out of.
Pretty much,
because once you hit the severed floor, you forget what your motivation was.
But also, like, Gemma was doing some sort of like personality testing,
right,
with the cards from
O&D. That was what O&D was printing those still, like, in the present when our characters were in there.
Yeah.
But Gemma got those and said she got on the mailing list at the fertility clinic. So everything with babies and fertility is still also, like, Lumen has their hand in intentionally.
Yeah.
There's so much to pull out of this episode. It's way too much to go in.
Crazy.
You know, a more general theme kind of from this show that this episode had me thinking about more clearly is the total trust and total helplessness that we as modern human beings have when dealing with elevators. You just get into a glass box and the doors seal and then they open and you're someplace else and you just trust that it's where they say it is and that it's, you know, like there's just so much implicit weirdness about the idea of an elevator. It's this tiny sealed room you go in and we just trust it, and it's like they can be made sinister in this show, I guess. Like, the idea of elevators is sinister on Severance.
The 9 buttons lit up, there's a 9 on the wall, so that must mean I'm on the 9th floor.
Exactly. And it is, I mean, it's like, it's a physical severing of place, right? Like, it is, like, I don't know, I always make a joke if there's like a baby or a dog on an elevator.
How do dogs think elevators work?
Yeah, like, what do you do? But yeah, this is, you are transitioning without transitioning.
Yeah.
Between places.
And then the other, like, thematic concept that I've been thinking about on this show is it's a lot of commentary on, like, the nature of workplace life and of what a workplace is for a human being to exist in and stuff like that, kind of taken to the extreme at Lumen is sort of the thematic content of this show. And one aspect of that I think is interesting is the fact that it's always night for Audi Mark. It's dark outside all the time. Because, you sacrifice all your daylight time to being in this building where you're doing your work. And
which is
you're doing it to get your own life and your freedom, but you're only giving yourself the darkness and the dark. I mean, especially it's been winter for the whole part of the story so far. So during winter hours, people who work in an office go in there before the sun comes up and come out after the sun is down.
And like Mark intentionally chose to give up his daylight. Like intentionally chose to not see things. By going down there, and now he wants to see it. Like,
but even when you work in an office and you aren't, like you haven't severed yourself, you're still just choosing to be indoors in a sterile environment during all the daylight hours for half the year.
Like living in Minnesota, it's particular. Like it's starker. Of like, there's if you do anything where you're like inside away from windows, or if like I used to go to a sword club that was like in a basement, and there's just one day. Like, the winter, you go in when it's light, you come out and it's dark. And there's one day where you go in, it's light, and you come out and it's still light. And it is...
like, oh my gosh!
Like, the world changes. It's so weird.
It psychologically affects you.
I worked for, like, a couple months one winter in Minnesota in an office building where I had an interior cubicle.
Yeah.
And I spent the entire day inside this... But yeah,
really bad for you.
I got there at 8 o'clock and left at, like, 5:30, and it was just like
no sun.
I didn't see the sun. Yeah, I got out of there pretty quick.
It's not good for you.
I moved to California.
That's right. I'm sorry. There's just such a whirlwind of this episode, trying to like piece together everything that happened. Ragabi bounced, and I'm not super happy with the reason for that. Like Devin hadn't even if Cobell was on the way. Then Ragabi should bounce, but she hadn't even actually called her yet.
Well, yeah,
just
but
the threat, I guess.
Ragabi seems like super cautious and super scared of Lumen, which
understandable.
Justified him. Yeah,
she murdered Grainer when he had found where she was.
Right. Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah, and like that might speak to how dangerous Cobell actually is.
I think it speaks to how jumpy Ragabi is. I'm not a fan of her one single bit. She needs to work on her approach.
And Lumen is very dangerous, I think, so Ragabi can conclude from that, therefore Cobell is dangerous, because she knows she grew up at the school for girls and stuff. She's a born and bred Lumen person, but I think we as the audience have more reason to trust that Cobell might really be on our side.
Yeah.
Remember when... they were at the park right before the overtime contingent. Not at the park, at the party right before the overtime contingency, and Mark was talking to Mrs. Selvig and saying, I think I might quit my job. And they hugged, and she said, do it. Get away from them, Mark. And
yeah, that's right.
We know how important he and his whole project is to what they're wanting to do, but she encouraged him to leave. It was right after they'd fired her, so I don't know. I think that she might have reason to... I think there are all these little signs that she might actually be a key player for the end of this season here in helping us, now that Ragabi's gone, in helping us figure out what to do next. She's clearly interested in reintegration. I don't know, she might be the missing piece here. We will call her and she'll turn out to help.
We'll see.
Well,
maybe.
I guess there's only one friggin' way to find out, right?
Let's watch the next one right now. Oh, we can. Drat.
I think we're going to have a lot more to say about this episode probably before the next episode.
We might have a long pre-discussion next time after we do a little bit of decompressing and maybe some comments on this video, before we see the next one. Some people will give us your observations and your putting together of what the hell that was.
Please.
That was crazy.
So much.
Yeah. But besides that, good?
Yeah, I think that does it.
Yeah, thanks so much for watching with us, everybody. I am Nate.
I'm Lewis.
I'm Sean.
And this is Ketchup Packets.
Dancing!